When we're live on what you call it, Substack. And I'm not quite sure where to find it on Facebook, but I will look.
Oh,
See,
Onyx Rose is live on YouTube.
Onyx is?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I don't see us on Substack yet. Hang on.
I don't see us on YouTube either.
I am live on the I am hold on, let's see.
Oh, we're live on Substack.
Okay.
Yeah, live on
We don't have
Twitch.
any viewers yet.
Yeah, I'm live on Twitch and I'm live on YouTube as well.
Okay. I need to get rid of this page.
Oh, live on YouTube. Okay.
Awesome. All right, we are live everywhere. Sweet. Let me pull up the Substack one. Sorry, I've got multiple things going on here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, volume is off on there. We don't have any viewers yet.
That's good.
How you doing,
Let's
viewers?
hope we have them soon.
I'm used to this kind of audience.
What's that?
My
I'm
iPad's
used
not
to this
working.
kind of audience.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
Me.
Oh,
come on.
my back. My back is so angry. So that's not going to work out either.
You know what made me laugh the other day?
What's that?
I don't know if you guys know who Anne Burrell is from the Food Network. She ran her landmark show was like Worst Cooks in America. It was fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
the whole show was
We
great,
have
but I
one
love it's one of those
viewer.
like cooking shows that's like not it's not meant to make people feel bad, but it's like at the end of it you end up rooting for the people because they actually genuinely improve. They go from like burning water to like making a 3-course like Michelin meal. It's great, and it's so
Awesome.
funny. But it's like,
We have 2 viewers.
why do you have
I don't
like
know who's
vanilla?
on, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vanilla is not a good seasoning for chicken. You came here because of vanilla chicken.
Okay, let me
What?
see if
Okay.
Facebook has picked this up yet.
I'm just sticking my iPhone in front of my face because the iPad's not cooperating. Nobody's saying anything in the chat. We got 2 people. Oh, that's Tig. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah, I think.
3 people.
Yeah.
I don't know who else is in the chat.
Yeah, I'm still working on pulling up.
Yeah, it's just me so far. Just doing just going in the chat.
All right, so you were in the chat then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we got 4 people.
YouTube side.
Well, hey, I want to give
Huh.
I want to give her a shout out for being where she is now, from from all that. What's your name? Excuse me.
Oh, Tig.
Tig. Yeah, it's Tig.
Tig.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shout out for being where you are now. That's a hell of an achievement.
Yeah.
Honestly, my
You're
thing
a strong
was
person.
yeah,
It's
saving
rough.
the world.
Addiction
domination.
is something else.
Yeah, Tig's a badass. Hi, Stephanie.
I learned from fellow badasses. It was elder people that lived through life, people before me that have gone through their fair share of craziness. Like badasses find badasses, and that's why I'm honestly really happy I found all of you guys.
Right. Well.
Let's do it again. Do good.
Yeah.
On the, we got 5. Stephanie G. Wilson.
There we go.
Hello.
Yeah, that's a little better.
Do you want to play your guitar a little bit?
Yeah.
While we're waiting for people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be great.
Ooh.
I'm still trying to find out where we are everywhere. For some reason, I can't open up the Substack live stream to see the chat, and I don't know why.
I wouldn't do that on my iPad, but I have it on my phone.
Yeah.
I just pulled my phone out.
I have my chat open in a separate tab.
Yeah. But for some reason, I can see the live, but I can't open it up to there's mental health, schedule,
Okay.
drafts.
So how you doing, Stephanie?
All right, no. I don't know. But Tig, you're in, so you can monitor.
Yep, I gotcha.
Okay.
It was funny. On my live earlier, I was referring to my neighbor Ken as my 80-year-old neighbor, and
Yeah.
he was in the chat, so I didn't realize he was in the chat.
Oh.
He texted me later and he said, "This is your 80-year-old neighbor." It's like maybe I'll just call him Ken from now on.
Right.
on here.
Yeah. Yeah. Play some little music while we get our audience gathered.
I have had an immense craving for Muddy Waters as of late. Not entirely sure why.
Oh. Well, Brad might
Hey,
be able to take care of that.
Sushi, Tig's face is covered by your logo there.
Oh, shoot. Okay. It is. Let me get rid of that logo.
What the future we're facing? How long to carry on in pain? We're in perpetual motion, but again, we get covered in hate.
Yeah.
We got 5 people.
So look
Okay.
up to the sky for an answer. Look up to the sky for the rain.
Woo!
Rail seem to go on answer when the answer is right in your face.
There we go.
Yeah.
I gotta thank Nick for showing me that.
Yeah. No doubt. But that's specifically a
I'm trying to get Eric Gales to come teach me how to play guitar,
yeah.
but he doesn't have time.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember the last time. It's been a while. I still have mine in my closet. I just added new strings to it too.
Did
It's
ya?
a classical guitar that I was able to workshop the bridge a little bit and added acoustic strings to a classic. It's a bit of a mess. It's an ancient one. It's an old one I've had since I was like 2010, like I was 10 years old.
I can get you into a new one.
Okay,
Ooh.
See mine?
we've got 5 people.
Okay.
We're 8 minutes in.
Ooh.
All right.
So,
That was
So
gorgeous.
I finally got us over so where I can see chat too. So
Very good.
okay. Well, let's get the ball rolling, I guess.
Hey,
All right. Get your
Hello,
guitar set
everyone.
down. Yeah.
good evening.
good evening.
Welcome
How's
to
everybody doing?
Haven. Welcome to Mine Haven.
In sunny Colorado, it's beautiful here.
In snowy New York, it's dark over here.
Yeah, y'all
Yeah.
stole it from us.
Too cold.
Hershey,
Rocky-
Oregon. It's
Tig, you want to start off
rainy.
with the oh no, there he is.
What happened?
I don't know. Don't touch anything, Brad.
Hands up, Brad. Hands up. Hands up. Hands up. Okay, we're good. Hands up. All right. Where should I just get into right into
Yeah,
my
just start with the
and we can
disclaimer.
Get started.
Yep.
Mind Haven is a podcast and weekly roundtable discussion that provides a safe space for real mental health conversations by people with lived experience. We are not trained professionals. We discuss our stories and current events and build community and solidarity around that. If you are not alone. If you're having a hard time, you're in crisis, you can call or text 988 or check the little ticker below the screen right there. And we're all just here to support each other and build a solid community.
Yep,
Thank you, Tig.
absolutely. And so today we have a very special guest, Mr. Brad Allen, and he has quite a story to share with us. So today's topic is residual wounds and mental health, and we will let Brad take the floor.
How's it going, everybody? So my story goes back probably since high school. Like most, I had a pretty good life growing up. I had a good life. We moved around a lot. And then in the 5th grade, I moved to Utah, and I loved Utah. It was great. But I grew up with drinking parents, like everybody. Nobody was a real drunk then, but there were always parties, always bottles, and in the old cupboards, they used to have all the alcohol in the lower shelves, and that was before they knew kids got in there and chugged it, and then filled the bottles full of water to replace it. But through high school, it was just, party, party, party. I didn't really get a drinking problem until quite a bit later. But I always grew up around it. And I always stole their vodka and replaced it with water. Started smoking pot in like the 9th grade. And, it was just, nobody had any money, so we just got what we could get. So it was not like a huge deal. When I got older, had kids. I got married and had kids, and then with my kids, I actually coached soccer. I was a good dad. I was there, and I wasn't all drunk all the time. And so somehow my kids grew up uh, seeing what not to do. My kids are great. They didn't do anything I did. Thank God. But I was always a loud, obnoxious guy. Um, my security was my sense of humor, and so I was always loud and the funny guy. Uh, and then years pass. Nothing big in between there. I was injured a lot. I got my knees were blown out, and I got smashed by glass, and got pain pills and stuff for it. But when I got married, I married the girl whose folks got us our weed, and I thought that was great. But it came with a whole slew of other problems. But that's when I found heroin. That's when the harder drugs kicked in. And I was never one to say no to anything. So I tried pretty much everything. And the heroin years was only not that long. But I contracted hepatitis C. And I didn't know it until years later when my liver was already shot. So um, I was married for 30 years. I ended up getting a divorce, and probably 10 years before I got a divorce, or maybe 20, it's hard to tell. It just seems like forever ago, but it wasn't. We both got into drugs. Alcohol was always there. And because of the environment we were in, there was always drugs. We moved to Palm Desert in this community. This community was an old hippie community, and all the hippies were still there, but everybody's pretty hammered at this time, because in the 60s the hippie movement was great, but then the drugs and heroin got out of control and ruined tons of people's lives, I'm sure. But when we got into the first time I ever tried heroin, somebody shot it into my arm. I fell asleep, woke up, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" All it did was make me sleep. And they're like, "Oh, you got to try it again so you don't sleep." And so tried it again, slept, tried it again, and then it felt good. And then we did it more frequent, and we had kids by then. They were little, but we'd cut down on the heroin when the kids were born and everything. But started it up again in the 90s, and it wasn't an everyday thing for us. We just did it for fun, but it definitely got out of control and really affected everything. Yeah, when you're the hard drugs, you get weird, really weird. Personalities change, and anyway, the marriage started going south, and we ended up getting a divorce. And then by that time, I was still probably doing pain pills, but I don't think we were doing heroin at that time. Meanwhile, we were drinking almost every night, at least a cocktail or something, but not heavy. But then when I got a divorce, I moved in this house, and I'd been married for so long. I was like, I had all this pin up things that I wanted to do, and being 50, I wanted to be young again. So I was a dork and made my half my house a band room. And then people would come over and play and drink, smoke pot. And I had been in the hospital so many times, the pain pills were just a part of life. And I was taking them as prescribed for the first 2 weeks. Then after that, it was more add one, add here. But by the time I really started getting tore up on them, was I could take 10 or 11 at the same time, 3 times a day. So your prescription was pretty much gone after uh, the first week, and then you sit in Jones all day long, and then uh, I kind of mellowed out on those, but I took up all the time drinking, and I had all my friends drank, and we were all smoking weed through high school and drinking and partying. But I had a friend that he was dying of liver disease, and he drank all the way through it. And I thought, well, I'm gonna try to help him out, see if I can help him out. Well, I ended up just drinking right along with him because the help, I didn't know what actual help was at the time. I didn't have a whole definition of and list of um words that described my addiction. And then in October of 23, I had been drinking probably uh half gallon of vodka a week, and then 2 on the weekend. And it started out with just orange juice and vodka, and then the vodka got deeper and deeper, and the orange juice got lighter and lighter, and then it was just a drop so the kids didn't see you were just drinking straight up vodka. But um my my sense of humor changed, my personality changed, and I was the drunkle, and then getting really obnoxious and thinking I was funny. I don't know if you guys have ever been in a room. I'm sure you have, with the funny guy that's not funny anymore, but he's just a drunk old fucking obnoxious guy. That was me.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So you know, to have me around, I didn't knock on anybody's door. I just barged in. Jen knows that because I barged in her house all the time. My kids. And my daughter told me she doesn't want me to come over anymore. Well, my kids are my whole life. And so I started hitting depression, started having problems at work. Meanwhile, not knowing my liver was in hepatitis C. And I got that cleared up right off the bat. I went and I don't know, took about 3 weeks, and my liver was pretty clear. So I took 8 months, feeling great, feeling good, and then I went back to drinking because of depression. And then Mondays would always be hard to go into work, and if I did go into work, I would just isolate. And I'm not one to isolate normally. I usually jump in the truck and go visit people or whatever, but the isolating is what really got me, because I didn't want to tell anybody, and I didn't want to tell my girlfriends how much I was drinking, so it was all hidden. I had bottles stashed everywhere, and I did a pretty good job at hiding it, hiding the level that I was at. And I started to feel it. I started to feel it in my gut, and I started bloating. And one day I woke up to go to work, and my stomach was really upset. I got in the shower, and I passed out on my way to the shower. But I got back up, took a shower, and then I puked blood, and it covered the shower. It looked like a huge murder scene. That was the first time. But what happened was all the ammonia that was building up affected my thinking. So I still went into work. After I cleaned up all the blood, I went into work. I got into work. I was just white as a ghost, pale. And my work told me to go to the hospital. I went to the hospital and spent a week in there because I'd lost so much blood. And I healed up for maybe a week, 2 weeks. Everything started hurting. So I went back to drinking again. And then bleeding out became pretty normal. Pretty normal. I was in Moab one time. We went to Moab on a family Moab trip. And the whole time I'm trying to keep it together. And we're way back in. You can't hike out from there. And I was bleeding again. And so I had to drive all the way back from Moab to my house, bleeding internally. So that's when my hospitalizations were like once a month, and I'd be in there for a week, and then your work's wondering what's going on, and I'm sleeping at work every time. I nodded out every 5 minutes.
Gets to the point where the shame of it all, you try to drink to forget that you're ashamed of drinking, and it just spirals from there.
Yeah, spirals from there, and then so I'm trying to hide it. And if you would have seen me then, you'd be like, that was ridiculous. I look at pictures and I'm like, I wasn't hiding anything, but kids wasn't coming over. And
got to a point,
yeah, got to a point where I'm just like, shit, I got to do something about this. But I kept fighting it. And the addiction of it all just nailed me. So every time I started to feel good, I'd go ahead and try it again and then end up in the same boat. I did that 5 or 6 times. And
It's like
then,
you feel like you're getting better, like, oh, maybe I can handle it more. And your
right.
brain mistakes it for tolerance, and it just
Mhm.
spirals worse and worse.
Right. Yeah. And my tolerance was huge. Like a fifth of vodka, I just barely caught a buzz by that point.
Mhm.
Yeah, and that's like straight ethanol right there.
Right.
It's basically just isopropyl alcohol at that point. It
Yeah.
is rubbing alcohol.
And it hurt too.
Yeah, and it's
It
honestly it's a pretty it's horrifying the spiral it in, and the moment you realize like I don't want to live in a hole anymore, right?
mm-hmm.
I don't want to live in a hole anymore, and I'm gonna do something about it. I have no idea what, but
Yeah, well, I was gonna do something about it. And so by this time I was, the self-pity thing was just kicking. And I never blamed my problems on anybody. You know what I mean? I mean all my problems pretty much I definitely fixed myself. But a lot of it was I wasn't the same person, and I kept wanting to be that same funny guy. Just
walking into a room, someone's house, like it's an 80s sitcom, is like, hey, what's
right,
going on,
yeah,
Gables? With the cool
yeah.
uncle.
But by the time I got to their house, I'm all hammered. So
Yeah.
it's just, and anything just floods out of my mouth. I'm like that anyway without alcohol.
Yep, Brad, you're getting some love here in the chat. People are saying love you, thanking you for your openness, and just letting you know.
Yeah, you are getting some love.
Support definitely saved me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I finally went in. They said I'm not going to make it, and I had to get a new liver. Well, at the time, I thought getting a new liver, people sit for 2 years. I didn't have 2 years left. And there's a Dr. Trotter in Salt Lake at the IHC. Great guy. And he has a team. They're amazing. He got me a liver in a week. Like I filled out the paperwork, took about a month to get all that in, but after that, it was like I got in super fast.
Dude has a way with Unos. Props to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he still, if there's anybody else that has that liver problems, you do not have to wait 2 weeks, 2 years in Utah. Utah has different laws about transplants and stuff. I don't know why. I'm going to have to look on that. But you can get a new liver within 2 weeks.
I think it has something to do with Utah's like iffiness around embalming. It's an issue. It's a tricky one, honestly, because it's easier to become an organ donor by default in Utah because it's a lot harder to go through the funeral home process and be embalmed post mortem. I think that's what it is.
Oh, okay. All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, that saved my life because they told me when I went in, I was in the hospital for the whole week, and it was just miserable. And I went into surgery on January 25th at 12 a.m. And then I opened my eyes. I think it was like 5 in the morning, and I could totally feel the difference. I mean, it was crazy. It's weird going from that miserable all of a sudden to just to wake up and you feel great again. Although, I was cut up, my stomach was fresh out of surgery and everything, so there was still a lot of stuff. But I felt completely different. Meanwhile, while all this is going on, I'd already been clean for a year. My timing, I need to reset my clock and go through my notes, see when everything is. So my timing may be off a little bit on all this stuff because it was, when you're having ammonia on the brain, time, conversations. I don't remember a whole lot.
Yeah, they just blur together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean and plus like it's affects your liver full time, and that
Mm-hmm.
the liver
And
is like the second most important part of your body essentially because it has so many functions.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
The toenails, the skin, the hair, the eyes,
The nervous system,
the
the lymphatic
breathing, the
system.
nervous system, your brain. It's just the liver runs a lot more things than I even knew because I never looked into it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard thing, and especially when you like you said you grew up in this like drinking culture. And I think this is something a lot of people like a lot of my friends are a lot of my contacts are actually like young or like my age or a little bit older are kind of coming into their own like their relation with alcohol and their relation with drinking because for a good chunk of like history, like especially for like your generation as everyone else, like drinking culture is basically just alcoholism with extra steps. Yeah.
Well, and
that's what drinking culture can spiral into. And yeah.
And the 80s, I was I graduated in 1985. And in the 80s, you want to be a rock star. Well, you got to party like the rock stars.
Yeah.
So you're always trying to keep up and drink everybody under the table and all this really, really warped thinking.
Yeah. Hey, Brad, I'd like to interject right now and bring you back to receiving the liver. Just because I saw you in that condition and we've had our own conversations about it. And I remember going when you were in the long-term care facility, coming to visit you one day, and you were jaundice, as jaundice as can be. And I can't recall if you had already received news that you had got a liver donor yet or not, but we were discussing a time before that you had almost died.
Well, so I've had staph infection twice. I had it in my arm 2 years prior to that. And then I ended up getting it. I had a knee replacement, and that had ended up getting staph. This time I was going to rehab, and
it wrecks your immune
I got
system.
staph, and then at the rehab, the nurse says, "You got to go to the hospital." So I went to the. I was going to say I'm going to wait till the next day, and then we'll see how it is. But because I was in rehab, I thought I better do what she says. So I went in, and that's when all hell broke loose. They cut my knee open to do the surgery, and I just bled profusely. And I bled completely out and flatlined.
Yep.
And they had to revive me. And I don't know how much blood I got. I think it was at least 5-6 bags, but they had to keep putting blood into me, and because my kidneys shut down too.
Your kidneys were trying to take over for your liver. Like one of
Yeah.
the primary functions is it cleans up like defeated down blood cells, red blood cells, and cleans that up. And if that's out of control, then
and sepsis is extremely serious. In fact, Brad and I have both lost friends to sepsis.
Yeah, a lot. I think the crew that I run around with in high school, there's 5 of us left.
Yeah.
80s were pretty rough on people.
80s was crazy. 80s was crazy. And I think a lot of us are dealing with the impacts of like the 80s now.
Yeah.
Like 20, 30, 45 years, 40 years later. And I'm honestly like, I want to commend you, Brad, for like coming out of it. It's like, yeah,
thank you.
This is like, it's not the 80s won't last the 80s didn't last forever. And
no,
for this exact reason.
The 80s would never have lasted forever because everybody would be dead if it was still
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
80s.
I'm one of
Oh
them.
my god.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Nero's back.
Oh,
Yay.
no,
Yeah,
yeah.
sorry about
No,
that.
But
no, no, it's all good.
I
the
was still
bleeding
listening.
out
I just
thing, and then actually, I when I died, I didn't see anything. But I didn't know I was going to die. Otherwise, I would have probably looked for somebody. But I did have a really weird, super, super comfortable feeling. And I've always, I've never forget that feeling. But after they did the surgery, after I bled out, yeah, that's why I was in the
Yeah, in the long
the
term.
hospital for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ICU.
ICU for almost 4 weeks because it was on and off, and you can ask Jen. Nobody thought I was going to live.
No, it was scary for sure.
Yeah,
That
and
like that.
but things came back. It's like in the hospital, I was like, I'd kind of come comfortable with dying. I figured, yeah, I had 57 years of good life, but I have sisters and I have a ton of friends, and the support that I got was unbelievable. It was crazy. I didn't realize how awesome people are until that time.
Yeah.
You know, real friends, and the reaching out was incredible. And so when I opened my eyes, my sisters are in the room, my daughter's in the room, and my son's in there. And when I open my eyes, I'm just looking at them all, just like, oh man. And then I look at my body and I'm like, shit,
Mm.
you know? And I'm just thinking that body is just going to hurt.
Like warmed
But
over, shit on toast.
yeah, hell yeah. I was like, you're going to put me back in that piece of shit? uh,
Oh,
but
God.
but the whole experience was just insane. And the way that I think now and the way that I think that I thought 2 years ago is completely different.
Mhm.
Uh, I've never dissed on people with addiction too much because I always knew anybody can get there.
You put the right factors in place, it could
You
really
put the
happen to
right
anything.
factors in place, and no matter how much you're judged or anything, whoever is judging you could easily fall into that place.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's not a moral failing either. It's a biological just hijacking, honestly.
Right.
This is a bit of a side note, honestly, but there is many cases in New Hampshire of moose who like to munch on the slightly rotten apples they find on the ground. When the apples that the sugars ferment into alcohol a bit, and they get so hammered that they will actually start attacking people. This is just human alcohol, like our relationship with to alcohol. Humans have evolved to that. Animals evolved to that. It's something humans have always done. And I think it's something that a lot of people are coming to terms with now, that it's not some kind of moral failing as it was portrayed to be in the 80s. Like, oh, like, like the war on drugs, the whole evangelical nonsense, all of that, the whole counterculture that the hippies were trying to fight against all that time. And I think they just like, oh, screw you, we're going in the opposite direction. But it's still on the same spectrum, the two sides of the same coin. Like,
Right.
fully depriving yourself across the board isn't healthy. That we get the the whole Epstein thing, but going full into it will get you killed too.
Yeah.
And it's a tough one. It's a tough one to balance. But even so, like if you've been on either side, finding that happy medium and finding that reason forward, I really commend you for that, Brad.
Yeah.
totally. And it's linked to trauma and circumstances too.
Yeah. And
both
it was definitely trauma. It was really traumatic.
Yep.
Like I remember laying there in the hospital bed thinking, Jesus, this is like, I don't think I've ever had trauma like this, because it was every day. Uh, you're gonna do good. You're doing really good. Then the next day, oh, he's not doing so good. And so while I was in the waiting hospital, which was the kind of rest home thing, it was like almost nightly that the ambulance would come have to get me
Mm-hmm.
and take me to the hospital. And so I'd get feeling like, okay, I'm going to make it out of this. Next time I'm being ambulanced to the hospital, and then I get back, and then I hear him say, "Oh, it's not good this time. It's not good." Meanwhile, the feeling when you're a little kid and parents are talking, and everything just seems like uh,
Like
just a
Charlie
sound,
Brown,
a
like womp womp
background.
womp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
womp womp womp. I felt like that, and everybody's like, and I could hear like, we don't know if he's gonna make it. His hemoglobin's really low, and this is low, and his kidneys aren't back to normal, and my sisters had all the faith in the world, and they were not gonna let me die. They were adamant about it, and so I knew I had to fight, and believe me, if I wouldn't have fought, I wouldn't have made it. You have to have some fight in you, some reason to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Some
lot of,
reason to go in.
yeah, I've had a lot of friends who are just like give up. The friend that I was supposed to help out, he isolated for 3-4 years before he didn't reach out to anybody. There was nobody there, just me. And I happened to be, I just started drinking with him, like, and so that, I wish if there's so, I wish I could take that back and try that again. But when you're sick, it's probably best you don't help people.
It's hard to help someone out of the thick of it when you're in the thick of it yourself.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a lesson I learned the hard way, actually.
Yeah.
yeah. And I've always been one to like put people before myself.
Yeah.
And the one thing that you have to remember is you can't help nobody unless you help yourself first.
Absolutely.
You can't deliver groceries if you don't have a car.
You can't
Is
go
that stupid analogy?
300%
No, that's
No, it's
24/7.
not.
You can't go 300% 24/7. Just give yourself some grace and
Yeah, yeah,
give
and
some trust in the people that care about you the most.
that's right. And I had to learn to give myself a break because part of the last 7 years, all I do is beat myself to pieces because I didn't blame anybody else, so I was just beating myself up. My kids don't like me because of this, and I did this, and I screwed this up, and I'm screwing this up now. And I learned to, when I got a divorce, I lost my identity because I met her in high school, so my identity was with her. So when I got a divorce, I really sat there sometimes and going, I don't think I really know who the hell I am.
Not the
And
rocker, not the partier, not the funny
not the
uncle.
partier, not the drunkle, not the funny guy. I had no idea. And I went to rehab, and somebody showed me a list of definitions. Your of all your faults and your good points, but every night we had to have a lit. Every night we did a list of um, what do you call them? The anyway, a list of definitions that oh, they called it, help me out. It's
Affirmations. No.
no, not
DBT.
affirmations.
No.
Character defects.
Character defects.
Yeah. So when I found the list of character defects and I started going through them, and it says, did you feel like you were anxious tonight? Did you feel like angry? Did you feel, all these definitions? And then I got familiar with those, and then I could start pinpointing at least what my addiction was.
Or at least what the drinking was meant to cover up. It's
Right.
you're trying to numb instead of feeling a feeling.
Right.
You,
Yeah.
you drink instead so you don't have to. And
Right.
but something
And
something I've really tried to learn is that feelings and emotions are not a defect in a way. They're instincts. Emotions are just
Mhm.
another word for instincts. They're there to keep you alive as a human being. Anger has a
Right.
purpose. Fear has a purpose. Sadness has a purpose. Joy has a purpose. All that has a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be tough, like when you spend your entire life dulling your instincts because it's too intense, and you just start to try to figure out get in touch with those instincts again.
Right. Hang on, I messed
And
my
learning
phone
how
up.
to deal
Sorry.
with the intensity.
Yeah.
Part of the thing, substance abuse and alcohol abuse is it when people have a lot of issues with dealing with that intensity. You want to
Yeah.
shut it up.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we lost Brad.
I think Brad.
There we
Sorry.
go. Oh, you're good.
My phone keeps popping up this message, and it tells me all commands, and I'm like trying to get it off there.
All right. I mean,
Anyhow, the rehab that I went to was Action. It's called Action. It's up in South Ogden, and the therapists are really good. It's a really good place. I learned so much about myself, and I did. And then I got into AA. That's a whole separate thing you could talk about forever. But it helped me find who I was, and by doing that, it enlightened me to a lot of things, and a lot of things that I didn't realize about myself. I mean, you have these incredible qualities that you don't even know you have for most of the time,
yeah.
most of your life. And until you start loving yourself, it's hard to find those qualities.
Yeah, it's just learning to see
And
what the people that care about you see in you.
right, and to be super honest with yourself. And because I had stacked my life up in lies, by the end, because I was drinking. Then the only time I used to say the only time I ever lie is to get out of trouble.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something
And
about identity is that identity is just the narrative we tell ourselves that justifies our existence, essentially. So
right.
if the story you tell yourself is not true, then that kind of just makes it vulnerable,
Yeah, that's true. And my story of myself before was way worse, I think, than it probably was. Well, I know it was, because I've had a pretty good life, and I just chose a lot of wrong paths. But anyway, some with dying really cleared up the identity crisis that I was having. And I chalk it up to dying anyway.
Yeah.
It could have been some other brain functions.
I mean, you have to reevaluate what your story is.
My
when you're
whole
facing the
narrative,
end of-
yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're facing the end of it.
Well, and most prior to that, most of my life was a narrative. Like a rocker, an outdoors guy. You know, it was just a temporary narrative because I really didn't know who I was. But after going through that and going to the rehab and stuff, finding myself was is a major part of my success to now.
Yeah.
I haven't drank since I got the DUI, and that
Yeah.
was 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Whoa, 2.5 years sober. Let's get it.
And now I look at it and I'm like, how in the hell did I get there? It's like I drank way past the fun.
Yeah.
I drank into, so I was just miserable. And
Oblivion.
then our brain thinks, well, you can get out of this, just have a drink and you'll be back to normal. It's fooling you because you know that's not going to happen.
When your
Mhm.
normal becomes
When your
inebriated.
normal becomes just a total fictitious lie you tell yourself, then it's no fun anymore.
Yeah.
And so being in the hospital all that time, I didn't worry about the bill, didn't worry about anything. But the incredible experience was the support. And there's a lot of people that were in there that had no support.
Mhm.
And I was like, God damn, that would be really tough.
Like what kind of
With
mistakes you made that you're doing this on your own.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, especially when there's not a room full of people. Luckily, I had a ton of friends. My room was always full of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But I got to the point where they said, well, I went in after they sent me home after the hospital stay, you know, the convalescent center or whatever I was in. And then they said, just wait. And they called me, and I thought, wait, you know, it's going to be a month or two. I got to live like this for a month. And then next week, they called me and said, get in here. And it was like, wham, bam, went in, woke up with a new liver.
Yeah. Amazing.
It was,
Amazing stuff.
yeah, it was. And then I woke up alive, you know, when I opened my eyes, I'm like,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean,
Brad,
the new
I have a
liver, when
question
it
for
gets
you.
in, it kicks in. It kicks in. It kicks in
It
and goes
does,
straight to
yeah.
work.
I have a question for you, Brad.
Uh
Since
huh.
your new lease on life, what has been your favorite thing since then?
You know, my favorite thing is people. I love people.
Yeah.
I hate assholes. There's two colors of people in this world. And I'm going to say asshole is a color, and kind is its own color. So
Mhm.
there's assholes and there's kind people. Well, I I'm attracted by kind people, and I love kind people, and honestly, it it keeps me going. And plus my guitars, and my girlfriend's super awesome, and she's actually a licensed therapist,
Mhm.
Oh, cool.
so that worked out for me.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
can
should have known
bring
I
kind
needed one of those a long time ago.
I mean, if you have kind people, if you have a appreciation for kind people, that's not something you learn. That's something that's ingrained in you. You know.
That is
And you're right.
ingrained.
There's assholes and there's kindness, and if your
Yep.
default is kindness, no matter how
Yeah.
many times you try to isolate yourself, they'll just come, they'll break down the door and bring you back out.
Right. Yeah. And you know, kind people come in all colors, and asshole comes in all colors and sizes.
All
But
shapes, sizes.
I right now, I mean, we see a lot of stuff that's on the TV, and we see a ton of assholes.
They get the most attention right now, anyways.
Yeah, it gets the
And
most
it's,
attention on the TV. But when I go outside and I talk to people, like now, I moved to Colorado about 8 months ago, Jen.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, and this place is the most beautiful place that I've ever been to. The mountains, everything's in 360 degrees. So the mountains and the desert, everything's 2 hours away.
Yeah.
Beautiful here. There's no pollution. And it's a small, kind of sleepy town. Here they think it's big, but it's not big.
I mean, it feels big because it's expansive. It's huge.
Right. Yeah, but not totally full of people.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that's a nice kind of big. It's
yeah,
expansive.
and the mountains here are just unreal. And so I'm living in this awesome place, and I'm retired, and I'm surrounded by guitars right now.
Mhm.
So it's like I died and I woke up, and this is what I always wanted to do anyway.
Right.
So things got answered, and I'm not religious. I despise religion, but I am spiritual, and there is a God for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see that every day until I turn on the TV, and then every once in a while I go off and have a fit, but it doesn't last long. But I think the stuff that I've been through in the last 5 years has just been incredible to me, because it was so far, so deep down and dark at one point, and at this point it's so awesome. Like, I used to worry about bills, money, everything, and it turns out I have enough for everything I need, you know?
Yeah.
And it just, I don't know, I think when you live that kind of life and you can come out of it, it's amazing. That's why I always tell people, like, if it's dark where you're at, it's hard to tell somebody to get help.
Yeah.
So you kind of guide them that way or something. If somebody's reaching out, definitely answer. I feel like the service to people, to doing things like, I'd like to be a peer support specialist, but even going to playing guitar for people in the old folks home, just something that you give,
Yeah.
helps me a ton too. It gives me
Yeah.
that reward that I was always looking for with alcohol or drugs. Gives
Yeah.
me the same kind of reward.
It's people. It's being around beautiful people.
Being around beautiful people is, yeah, and beauty's a whole different thing for me too. I mean, I think when you're young, everybody's trying to look hot and sexy all the time, but you get to a certain age when that is so superficial. And for me right now, the first thing I see when I see somebody is, are they kind? Are they good? Are they good people? Are they smiling? You know what I mean? What are you like on the inside? Because the
Mhm.
outside, it doesn't matter what you look like. Because if you're rotten on the inside, you look good on the outside, that rotten's just going to come bursting out, and
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
what you're going to see. If you're
And you have that people like us that have that aura. It shows real quickly.
right,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you have
yeah,
that rooted in yourself, and it'll amplify the beauty and also amplify the rot.
and the attraction,
Yeah.
for where you're at, because like I think beauty is always from the inside.
Mhm.
And then when you see the inside, you don't really look at the outside very much anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't think you can tempt me with some sports model lady or anything, because all I see is like, that's gonna kill me again.
Right on, Brad. Hey, it's getting to the top of the hour.
Okay.
Do you, Nero or Tig, do you have any questions for Brad or before we sign off?
Honestly,
You-
Brad, I before streaming today, before coming on, I kind of had a bit of a meltdown myself, and it's something a mindset I've been through before, and just trying to be an asshole to drive people that care about me away. Thinking it's not worth it anymore, and they'd be better off without me and my chaos. And then I come on here and see like you, and this is. This is exactly the story that more people need to hear right now. That there's always a path forward.
Yeah,
always
and there's so many beautiful people out there that are being dwarfed by the news, and there's really a small group of total assholes compared to the kindness of most people. And that might be a little naive because I don't know what it is now. Maybe it's a little higher. Everybody's flaring up. But deep down, when you look inward at people and not just look at the exterior, is where all the people are going to join you in your life, and and be great people. Like judging, I don't judge at all anymore.
Yeah.
I might see something that if it looks funny, if somebody looks funny, I'll probably crack a joke. I don't know if that's good or not, but that's
I don't know.
I
It's
do
you hear
that.
from your kids?
Yes, I always hear it. My daughter calls me all the time. My boy calls me all the time.
Good.
Actually, my ex-wife Michelle, she calls me, and my girlfriend's super awesome, and I'm invited everywhere, and it
Yeah.
got to the point where it wasn't, but I'm just kind of I don't need as many people around me anymore. I'm pretty happy with less people, although I do miss my O-Town people.
Yeah. We miss you too, Brad.
Well,
But
you're
you know,
living proof that there's always a comeback, and
Yeah.
that takes and it's not easy,
No, and never give up hope.
but you did it.
There's always hope.
There's always
right
hope.
on.
So
And you don't need an audience to prove that. You could just
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Brad. Thank you so much for joining us
Okay.
today. It was
Thank you for telling us your story.
Yeah.
It was definitely needed.
I've known
Yeah.
Brad for a very long time, and I know
Yeah.
his story. And when he said, "Hey, can I come on and tell my story?" I said, "Absolutely." So, thank you again, and we will have you back whenever you want to talk or join in a conversation, Brad.
Okay, I just want to add one thing.
Sure, yeah.
Make sure you if anybody has liver problems, they're looking at new livers, IHC, Dr. Trotter at IHC, don't hesitate to give him a call.
Yeah. And that's in
You don't have to
Utah.
wait.
Yeah, it's Intermountain Healthcare. So
Also, look into your state's like embalming laws that could make or break things.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to be embalmed.
I mean, why? It just seems really counterintuitive. Why do you need to be preserved before you're going in the ground? Plus, the best of the caskets are like $50 grand. What? It is this beautiful aluminum casket with mahogany and free Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I want to be buried with free.
All right, guys.
All right, everyone,
ladies.
have a great night.
Thank you.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Love the kindness. Love the kindness. My heart isn't that good because my fingers.
Oh, there you go.
Your heart is fine.
All right.